You're going over there, so if I go to that one... Oh, okay. Hey guys, Skinny here, and today I'm showing the new killer to you on the PTB. Their name is the Onryo. It's Sadako from the Ring or Ringu, technically Ringu, based on the license they got. If you don't know the Ring, basically this girl fell down a well. She's some kind of witch. She curses you with a videotape. You have 7 days. That's short plot summary from someone who also hasn't seen the Ring. But she's in DBD now, and this is the PTB showing her power and her perks. So I'm going to run through, the power, the perks, and then give you my first game with her. So without further ado, let's get right into it, because this could be ending up being quite a long video. First off, her power is called Deluge of Fear. It's kind of a strange one, kind of complicated. Basically, at the start of the match, you are invisible within a certain range, up to 32 meters, and undetectable. Thanks for interrupting me with that casual jump scare. You're invisible, undetectable for 32 meters, and in order to be able to attack survivors, you have to make yourself visible. So it's kind of a bit like Wraith, how you can't attack while invisible. It's very much like old Freddy as well, where you have to physically be present in the match to actually hit people. But rather than old Freddy, where it was a single survivor, it's just you yourself have to manifest to hit everyone. That is her power. Her power is manifestation. She is invisible up to 32 meters, and then she sort of has like a spirit phase where she flickers in and out of existence at that range. But she can't attack anyone while she's not there. She can't really do anything. She can like kick gens and walls and pallets and stuff, but she can't attack. You have to manifest to attack, which is like a little short channeling animation, and then when you've manifested, you're just a basic normal M1 killer, and you can hit survivors and chase as normal. When you do manifest, there's like a brief window where her hands will flicker in and out of visibility, where during that time you're still doing the phasing like your spirit. So the idea is you manifest and you use that brief flicker to sort of mind game the survivors, so that you show yourself when you're visible, and then when you flicker out of existence, you maybe double back or go from a different angle so they don't expect it, or you swing around the corner. That's the general idea. That's the first half of her power, is manifesting and demanifesting. The second half of her power is projection. Throughout the match, there are several TVs just scattered around that she can teleport to when she is demanifested. So when she's not present, she can teleport to the TVs, which instantly manifests her at that TV. And then, like it says there, also I was within 16 meters of that TV game. This new status called Condemned. Condemned has 7 tiers and builds up at 1 tier for every survivor within 16 meters of a TV. When Condemned fully fills up and they've got all 7 tiers, you will reveal them with Killer Instinct. Their icon on the HUD will go red, and that means you can then Mori them instantly, regardless of hook states. So it's kind of like Pyramid Head, but you don't even need to bother about hook states. It's just, even if they're not hooked at all and they get condemned, it's instant kill. Survivors can turn off the TVs to stop you from teleporting by getting the tape, but doing this gives them condemned, and then for how long they hold the tape while out of chase, it builds condemned up. And then they can get rid of condemned by putting it in a TV, which gets rid of 4 at a time. So there's 2 parts to the power. It's the manifestation, sort of mind gaming, invisibilityness, and then there's the projection part where you can sort of have map pressure and just be all over the place. There's no cooldown to the teleport. It's literally just whenever you're demanifested, you look at a TV and you teleport to it. The only cooldown that is present is the TVs turn off when you teleport to them, and then take about 100 seconds to turn on again. Or at the start of the match, when you start invisible, there is a brief window where you can't teleport, where there'll be a white power gauge around your bar. When that fills up, eventually you can then teleport. But for the first, I think, 30 seconds to a minute, you're not able to teleport, just to sort of balance the killer. That's her power. It's pretty interesting. I'm not too much of a fan. I find it quite fun, but there are other killers I'd rather play. Now we're going to take a look at her perks. Her Her first perk is a Scourge Hook perk. It's called Floods of Rage. Basically, whenever you hook a survivor on a Scourge Hook, when they get removed from that hook, you will see everyone else's aura for, at rank 3, it's 7 seconds. At this, it's 5. So basically like a slightly different barbecue or bitter murmur. It's quite good, pairs quite well with Pain Resonance. You know, you hook them on the Scourge Hook, Gen loses 15 somewhere else, and then when they get unhooked, you can grab another bit of info on survivors. It's potentially to be quite strong on certain killers like Huntress or something. Her next perk is Call of Brine. When you kick a gen for the next minute, that gen will regress at Ruin speeds. It starts at 150% on level 1, but at level 3 it's the same as Ruin, 200%. And if a survivor gets on that gen and then starts doing good skill checks, you'll get loud noise notifications like old Discordance. And during that whole time, the gen is in yellow. So for 60 seconds, that one gen, it's only the one gen you kick, it doesn't affect multiple gens, and the cooldown, I think, is the 60 seconds that it's up, so you won't be able to do it to any of the gens whilst it's up, but when it's done, the next gen you kick, boom, it's back up. Yeah, it regresses at Ruin speeds, and then if they try and get on it, you get like an old Gearhead or like a Discordance-style sort of noise notification at the gen. Pretty good, pretty interesting. They've gave us a perk that's the same regression as Ruin, but not a Hex perk. It's potentially be quite powerful, but I think the fact it's isolated to one gen at a time decently balances it. And then the last perk is Merciless Storm. When a gen reaches 90%, that gen will then give the survivors a series of continuous skill checks. I've not faced against it, so I don't know what the gameplay is like, but I can imagine it's probably similar to Yellow Glyphs in that it'll just be constant skill checks hitting you constantly. And if they miss or get off the gen, even one of these skill checks, the gen gets blocked for 20 seconds at level 3 or 16 at level 1. So it's kind of like a more progress-focused Deadman's, I would say, where rather than it being just you bother them and it blocks the gen, it's tied exclusively to the gen. The interesting thing about this perk is it only works once per gen. So once that gen reaches 90 for the first time, this perk will trigger. If that gen then regresses beyond 90 at any point during the match, doesn't matter, this perk won't re-trigger. So it's not like Tinkerer, which just constantly goes off all the time. This one is once per gen for the whole match. So yeah, pretty fairly balanced considering. I would argue, I don't know, I would argue maybe considering that it only works once per gen and that it's 90%, there should maybe be a little bit longer on the time. I think 20 seconds is just a little too short, but that's my personal opinion. But yeah, I'm going to show you my first impressions, my first match with this killer and how I got on. And yeah, I think I've been talking for long enough, so without further ado, I'll get straight to that. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy. Okay. Family residence, first impressions. So short height, so I can't really. It's like old Blight POV. Alright. Love that pickup. So Surge on that gen. Love that hook. And then Pop, and then her perk should be affecting that now. I'm not going to teleport just yet, because I think they're all still pretty close. I didn't get a chance to look on barbecue because I was so focused on that gen. Oh, I got all three of them there with the corruption, whatever it's called. Condemned. This perk's still up on that gen. So there's a big cooldown if you start activating that and cancel it, okay. So this is the TV next to this gen, because that one's still not back on yet. But it worked. Now they're over there, so if I do this... Okay, I don't quite understand the lunge yet, but that worked perfectly. He had no idea I was coming from there. Because he expected me to be elsewhere. Already got another down. I like, it's kind of like Pinhead with teleport into the box, but on a way more controllable scale. I suppose it's closer to Freddy with gens. The downside is the TV's turning off. And they seem to take forever to turn back on, so you don't want to waste the teleport too much. They've just finished healing there, and that just turned back on. So I'll have condemned them a bit more. My audio's going all weird. She's very mind game heavy, I feel. Which is weird, considering her height kind of makes that harder to do. She's also very hit and run. Because they just unhooked there, so I'm going to hit teleport, because this is right next to the hook. And they have no idea I'm there. Yeah, I would class her as very mind game and hit and run. I didn't think I would like her, but to be fair, now... I'm kind of getting behind it. You want to be very unpredictable, off and on, switching back and forth and using the TVs as much as you can to sort of switch targets. Oh, I didn't fully manifest. It's quite a long time you gotta hold that down for. You ran right into me. Oh, that's brilliant. The TV here just turned back on. That's cool. They seem to stay down for a very long time. Your teleports are very limited, because if you do it too much, you're going to run out of TVs. Like, I've got nothing over there now, even though they're on that gen and there's a TV right there. I've got nothing because it hasn't turned on yet. I kind of feel like she should get a little speed boost coming out of that. Oh, that guy's on that gen. See, the problem with this is that they can see me flicker in and out of existence. But the idea is to do this. And then teleport. I wonder what it looks like to them when I do this. Oh, hello. See, that speed boost she gets from teleporting, I feel like she should get that from manifesting like Wraith does. Because otherwise she's got nothing. She takes so long to manifest that, you know, they'll just loop. You've got nothing. Like, I feel like when you're chasing, you should probably chase in manifest. Demanifest it like Wraith. But they can still see you flickering now, and there's no speed boost, that's the problem. This does nothing but prevent me from attacking. This guy's just gonna pre-drop and camp every pallet. Are you the one with Dead Hard? One of you's got Dead Hard. I thought I heard someone tap that gen. The idea I've got with my perks is I'm using the new perk she has, that's like a ruin whenever they're not working on it, in pairing with Pop for big regression, and then Surge I felt worked best with how her power works. You're going over there, so if I go to that one... Oh, okay. On paper, my opinion of this killer was not favourable. But this first game, and I'm already loving it. I didn't think a hit and run style killer would be viable in circle healing meta, but this changes everything. And I'm right on top of them already. You're the one with Dead Hard. I feel like Barbecue and Surge would probably be very good perks on her. Definitely Barbecue. You want to be able to see people across the map so you can know where to teleport to and just stay on them. And harass them as much as possible. I think her best add-ons will probably be the ones that make the TVs come back, but I don't know on the numbers yet. I think the teleport side of things is easy to get down, just be unpredictable and come in and out of it and just do hit and run all game. As for using her power in chase, I've literally no idea what you could do, because the fact that you don't get a speed boost coming in and out of manifestation kind of makes me think, like, how are you ever going to use this? Like, you should mind game with it, but like, look, if I was to demanifest now, I wouldn't be able to attack, and there'd be no benefit to it because it would take forever to cast, but it would also take forever to come out, and there's no speed boost for it, and the whole time they can see me anyway. Like, I'm flickering in and out of existence, sure, but it's not like that makes much difference, especially considering I can't attack. You can break stuff while you're demanifested though, so that's good. I heard him. Pretty fun game. I think there's a lot to learn with how to use this in chase, like I was saying, but the teleport aspect is definitely really strong. Just hitting someone, even not downing them, not committing, just getting that initial M1 and then going and transitioning that into switching targets completely, just being unpredictable, so that they have no idea if you're still on them or if you're on someone else, and just back and forth, especially because there's no cooldown to the teleport outside of, you know, re-entering demanifest mode and the TV's turning off. Like, you can literally hit someone, teleport, hit someone else, teleport. Like, there's no downside to that. I'd say that's probably the best way to play it. So far, I've yet to figure out how to use the power in chase, but that was my first game, so...